So Blacked Out, back in the booth, back in the studio, bringing out Truth, Blacked Out Media 2010, back in the booth, bringing out Truth, back with another issue. My issue today, I want to talk about an issue in reference to the economy. I want to talk about people and how they're dealing with the economy 2010, this year. Now, I know a lot of people have lost jobs. I know a lot of people have had cuts in their income as far as, employment hours have been cut. People have been laid off. And a lot of relationships are struggling because of the situation with the economy. Now, it seems like a lot of people are becoming depressed and upset and frustrated because of their personal situations as far as not having enough money to buy things, not having the kind of money that they had before the layoff or job loss or cutting income. And I don't think people should, really take that situation and turn it into a situation where it makes you depressed and down on yourself. There's a lot of things that people should cherish and try to get from the current situation that they're in. If they've lost a job or if they've experienced a cut in income and they can't provide or they can't, take care of things like they once did. Now, just consider if you lost your job, had your income cut, and you're thinking that, hey, I can't buy the things that I used to could buy. I can't live the kind of lifestyle that I used to live. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a blessing in disguise. Maybe having a cut in income or that job loss or layoff might be a good thing. Maybe, there's always a good thing that could come from a bad situation or a situation that looks bad. There's always some good in a bad situation. I think a lot of times people don't look or try to find the good in bad situations because the situation might seem so overwhelming, so hard to overcome that people decide to just, give into it and sit back and wait and wait and wait and let the situation just play itself out. The bad negative situation that they perceive to be a negative situation just play itself out. Now, I don't think a person should be, just sit back and just let, things happen. I think in these times that we're living in, if you really want something to happen, you have to be proactive and go out there and try to make something happen for yourself and the people that you love and care about. Now, I know a lot of people, might be in a situation where they feel like, hey, their job was their whole life. They might have worked on a job for years and years, and they don't know what to do with themselves now that they don't have a job or now that they don't have income. Maybe that person never got an opportunity to discover their creative talents or the talents that they have within them that could possibly be just dormant, and they just never got a chance to explore those talents. I mean, we all have some kind of talent that we're blessed with. I mean, each and every one of us have some kind of talent that we're blessed with. This could be a very good time to explore who you are and discover the hidden talents that you have within yourself that have been dormant and you never got a chance to fully express those talents within you because of, because of a job that took up all your time. And maybe you have the extra free time now to, be creative. Think about things that you wanted to do that you could not do or you felt you could not do because of job that you had. I mean, a lot of times people get caught up in jobs and working for, a certain company for years and years and years, and it becomes their whole life. And they don't get a chance to really explore the hidden talents that they have within themselves. So, I mean, I don't know, this whole issue with people becoming depressed. I read an actual article in reference to a situation where a person, or actually we're talking about how suicide rates are climbing because of situations with the economy. People are taking their own lives because they feel like once a person loses his job, and they've been on that job for years, that they feel like they have no value anymore. And a person shouldn't get caught up in defining themselves based on what kind of job they had or what kind of job that they have now. You can't really define yourself based on the kind of work you do, and you can't put value in who you are based on the job that you have. Or I don't think people should. You should still have respect for yourself and be positive about yourself, even though you might not have a job, you might be laid off. You should still try and find value in you as a person and the things that you believe in, the things that you have accomplished. There's a lot of times when people say, "Well, I'm nothing without my job. I don't feel right without a job. I don't feel like I'm being productive without a job." The question is, can you still be productive? Yes, you can. You can still be productive. You're still the same person. I mean, you're still the same person that you are now after you lose a job. I mean, you don't change. You might be upset and pissed off, but you might be a little down on yourself. But I don't think a person should start getting down on themselves because they feel like they have no value because they have no job or they've been laid off. And I don't think people should look at that person in a different way because they now have no job. All of a sudden, they're different now? No, they're not different now. They still have the same personality. They still have the same makeup physically. They still have the same mindset. So, I mean, people in relationships, I think, a lot of times people get upset and frustrated. This article I read, this guy, he lost his job and the guy killed himself because his wife was nagging him because he lost his job and he killed himself. I mean, that's kind of extreme, but I just think, a lot of times, they said that the suicide rates, they went into the whole suicide rate figure and all that and how it's going up. I just think people shouldn't look at people in a different way because, especially if you're in a relationship with somebody, you should look at that person a different way because that person no longer is able to provide income in the manner that they provided income before. Maybe, like I said, the situation is a blessing. Maybe it's something that was supposed to happen to them. Maybe they need to go or take a different road, a different route in their life. Maybe this is a time for them to explore who they really are as a person, what they really want to do with it. Maybe that wasn't the right field for that person. Maybe now they can really sit back and think about, hey, what do I really want to do? What would I really get enjoyment out of in my life? So all the nagging and stress that other people bring to other people because they, the money is not there like it used to be, or, cut back. Maybe you can't go out like you used to. Maybe you can't buy all the fancy things that you used to buy. Okay, maybe you need to start trying to live in a more simplistic way. We all can't have everything. We all can't have it all. People live on the streets with no food. People living in situations where they would just be happy to have, a place to live where they don't have to live outside. They had a roof over their heads. I mean, so I think we need to just cherish the little things and just thank God that, hey, I woke up today and it's a good day. It's a damn good day. I woke up today. That's a blessing right there. So people, don't get depressed. Don't get down on yourself. Don't, take this situation, job loss, cutting income. Don't look at it as a bad situation. Try to look for the good in the perceived bad situation that you might be in. Blacked Out Media, Blacked Out signing off. Peace.